Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of Vaul, and in this video we're having a look at how we can rig articulated armour. So when I really wanted to have a look at rigging, there are actually quite a few videos online, and it's generally okay to set up a good rig. For example, we've got this one here and I can move this leg up and down really nicely, or do some other bits like, I don't know, move the ankle up, or move the knee out, or move the whole leg out. Anything like that is perfectly fine. Let's just put that back to where it normally begins. So as I said, this is alright to do, and there are lots of videos on this, though if you are interested in a video, I'd be happy to do one. I just don't want to repeat all the basics that people have seen 100 times before. But I did find it quite difficult once we start adding in things like articulated armour, which has jointing on things like the knees or the elbows. So by articulated armour, I mean anything that has armour panels that overlap in some way, and then they are jointed together so they'll flex. This could be from something sci-fi, be it Space Marines or Stormtroopers or something like that, or something a bit more like this. Historical or some sort of fantasy armour that uses rivets or under leather to allow a good range of motion. And if we were going really lazy with this, let's go into object mode, we could just parent this to this lower leg, so let's Control and P, parent to object, and this will move with our lower leg, something like that. And that sort of looks okay, but it's not really getting the idea of articulation. That should move with the whole joint, and you generally get this movement sort of occurring part way, so halfway between the two bits of armour. So what I want to do is try to recreate that. So what I'm going to do is select all of this, including the rig, let's Shift and D and Z that up, and then we'll do that one more time, so Shift and R, so we've got a few versions of this, and we'll look at our different options. So let's just Alt and P, clear the parent of that with the transformation so it doesn't disappear back down somewhere, and we probably should have done that earlier on, but that's right, we're going to have to do that for each one. So let's have a look at how we can do this. So the first way, let's just make the rest of the rig here that's hidden more visible. So let's put that there, and we've got this in front, is to just set up an extra bone for this to work off of. So I'm going to go into edit mode, come into side view, select this, I'm just going to E to extrude that out somewhere here. So we've got our knee bone, or what's going to be our knee. We'll select this, shift select our rig, go into pose mode, select there, Control and P, and parent to that bone. Now this is going to work quite nicely if we just start posing again, in that this bone will sort of keep approximate value, but what we can do is just come here and then move it around at any point to get this back to where we want it. Now you'll notice that's gone a little bit sideways here, so we could even just come to this bone and we might want to put a constraint on this and limit this rotation. So let's limit that rotation there, so it's only going to work in one direction. So we need to do this in the local space, and I think that would be in, well actually if we want to see this we can check and go to our axes so that we can see our axes, and I only want this to move around its Z axis. So let's just come to our constraint here, we'll limit in the X, limit in the Y, and because we've got this to local this will work. We're in pose mode already, let's G there, and then we can just hit this in G, and we can sort that out and it's not going to go into any weird angles. And because we're in the local axis, I can move my knee around, let's say somewhere to there, and I can still just press G, and we can rotate that around. So this bone, let's just A and Alt and G, limited to only work in the Z axis, will work perfectly fine. So that seems like a perfectly acceptable option. This has some nice features. For example, if we're bringing in a pose from an asset library and it doesn't have a knee bone, this isn't going to cause any issues with your poses. You'll just need to put the knee bone in. So that is something we can sort of manipulate with, but then you're going to have to reposition the knee. So yeah, I'm half and half on that one. So this works okay, but we've got to manually do it afterwards, which is a little tedious. Let's come to this one. We'll select that. We're going to make this one visible as well. So let's come in there and make this visible. And once again, let's Alt and P and clear the parent with transform. And this time we're going to go for a different approach. I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to select this bone and we're going to basically make a separate bone for the knee. But instead of this being extruded out in this direction, we are going to just have this as a separate bone as part of this sort of part of the leg. You'll see what I mean in a second. So let's go to armature and we're going to subdivide this and we're going to just G that down to make a really tiny bone here. In fact, let's just select that bone there and move it down so it's a bit more, let's make sure we're doing the side on, a bit more perfectly on the knee. Then we can select the knee, select our armature, go into pose mode, select, no, not that bone there, Control and P, parent to bone, and then now we've got this working off that tiny little knee bone. And from that point on, we'd want to just G and move this around, but you'll notice this isn't working very well. Well, that's because we've added a bone in this leg group, so actually we need to change the IK, which is making all of this work. Let's come to my bone constraints and IK. We're going to have to chain link that up to 2 to go all the way from this one, 1, 2, upwards. So let's just now try this out. So G, and you'll see that works great. Okay, so we've got this working fine, and generally it seems to be all right, and we're getting about a movement halfway, but we can't really edit this after the fact. So, sort of okay. We also don't get quite as much control over the knee's direction on where it's pointing, even though we've got our IK working off of this object here, so I can move this around, and it generally looks all right. So this is a quite good option, but it has one major flaw for me, which is that if I wasn't doing articulated armour, I wouldn't have this tiny little knee joint, which means if I've got a pose library or a load of posed assets, and it doesn't have this little knee bone in it, then this isn't going to work. It's suddenly going to go horribly wrong. And I want to be able to use one set of poses for all of my rigged models. I don't want to have a whole separate set, because that's just going to be annoying. Now, there are reasons that you might want to have that in all of your models. Some people like having a little sort of knee bone, the reason being that this kind of mimics slightly better the fact that your knee isn't a hinge, it moves around the blob that's on the end of your knee joint. So this isn't totally inaccurate, but I'd probably not use this just because it means a more complex rig. So that is an option, nothing wrong with it, but I probably wouldn't go with it. Now, this is probably my favourite option. None of these are bad options, let me be really clear about this, but I think this would be the one that I'd prefer to use, but up to you which you think is better. Let's just go into object mode, select this, Alt and P, and clear that. And then what we're going to do is something slightly different. Let's just, again, make this rig visible, though actually we don't need to make the rig visible for this one actually, so I'll probably leave it. What we're going to do, if I go into pose mode and G to move this around, what we're going to do is want to keep this in one place. So what I'm going to do is select this knee, and I'm actually going to parent it to this, the thigh. So let's Control and P and set parent to object. Let's have a look at what that looks like. So we're going to pose this now, and you can see that sticking with this part, so the thigh, it's staying with that. But we want it to rotate around as if it's part of the armour on the shin or the calf. So if we go into object mode, we can do that really easily. We can actually just set up a constraint for this object. So I'm going to add a constraint. I'm going to copy rotation, and we only want this in the x-axis, and I'm going to click that to be my cube. And you'll see that suddenly rotates there. Now we're going to need to change the origin of our knee for this to work well. So let's just go into pose mode and A and Alt G to move everything back. Object mode, and we'll start fiddling around with this. So we need to change where the origin is. So let's go to options and then affect only the origins. And I'm probably going to need this to be there-ish. Maybe. We'll see how this works. It takes a little bit of trial and error. Let's take that origin off. Let's come here and go into pose mode, and we'll have a look at how this works. So G, and yeah, that's okay. That's looking about right. But again, it's staying perfectly with the shin. We don't want it to stay perfectly with the shin. We want it to be about halfway through. But luckily, our copy rotation has an option of influence, and we can change this to, let's say, 0.5, and now it's only going to be sort of halfway, and maybe that origin point's a little bit off there. I might need to fiddle with that. But you can see how this is now just halfway between the thigh and the calf, which is what we want. Now, while this works quite well for the arm armour, if we have a look at my arm moving, it generally stays about halfway between. I probably won't want this for the shin, but what we can do instead is actually just fiddle around with the settings here. I'll probably want this to be more in line with the shin than it is with the thigh, but not totally. So let's try this at 0.7. So that looks a little bit more interesting. Let's just go into pose mode, A, Alt and G again, and let's just fiddle around with that origin a little bit more, see if we can get this a little bit better. Let's maybe try somewhere a little bit more there. Let's have a look at that and see how it works. Let's turn the transform off, go into pose mode, and we'll just geo-move that. Yeah, and that's looking a little nicer. Okay, maybe it could be a little bit further back than that, but we're getting this idea of this articulated armor, and it's definitely sticking more with the lower leg than it is with the upper thigh, but it looks right. So this is our sort of option for our articulation of our armored joints. And this was something, at least these three options, that it was a real pain to find out. So hopefully this video has been useful to you. I will just show for this, let's just come into the bones and show that this is exactly the same. We've still got our eye case set up, and I haven't actually bothered with the arms for this. But this is still a relatively simple-ish pose armature to work on this. And again, we've still got all these options of, let's say, moving our ankle up or moving our knee around. So we can do everything with this and it will follow it really nicely. So if this was me, this would be my preferred option, using a constraint which copies the rotation of the lower leg while being parented to the upper leg, if I was articulating something. Now this is the point where I generally ask you to like the video and subscribe to the Patreon if you want to see more videos. But instead I actually want to mention a different Patreon by someone called Daft Makes, and I spent a lot of time in prep of this video talking through some of the things he does versus what I do in terms of this rigging for articulated armour. And he spends his time making very small sci-fi soldiers. These are all like 8mm in scale, and they're used for Adeptus Titanicus or Epic or Legion Imperialis. Though of course you can use them for whatever you want. But anyway, he was amazingly helpful in the lead up to this video, and if you do want to say thanks for this video in any way, even if you're not interested in the miniatures, maybe go and support him for a month, just as a nice way to say thanks. As always, I hope to see you in the next video, and have a great day.